And hello, hello, welcome to the first The Dawn of Ages stream. I am sorry for the delay. I was a bit late. There were some issues with my with the Twitch setup. You know how it is, right? This is the first stream we're doing for The Dawn of Ages, so it there may be always something happening. I'm sorry that Alice is not on stream, but I know that I am. My name is Zoran. I am a community manager for Stratosphere Games, and I'm supporting Alice a lot for the Dawn of Ages. And I'm not alone today. I'll show you the shirt in a second. Thank you, everyone, for joining the stream, by the way. Show you the shirt. But before we talk about everything like this, I want to introduce my nice guest. Today, you can say hello to Florian. Florian, do you want to introduce yourself? Oh, the sound is not working. No, it was working 10 seconds ago. No. Uh, give us 1 second. I'm sorry. We were testing everything right before, and everything was working, and then I made a mess because I did something. Um, Yes, I'm great. So before while we are trying to fix this, let me introduce what we're doing today. What we're doing today is I will talk to our lovely art director Florian about some of the art that is in the game, and afterwards we'll raffle away some things. So we had a small contest on Instagram where you were asked to put your favorite weapons, and everyone who participated can win something. Yeah, no technique, never technique. And Yes, beside that, at the end of the stream, also everyone who's still in the stream at the end of the stream has a chance to win one of the lovely T-shirts. I'm wearing it right now. Later on, Florian will see what he can do for you. So it seems like for Florian, everything is working out. It's on me. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what I am doing. Maybe it's I'll need to check my sound settings. But I didn't change anything, and everything worked out perfectly like a second ago. Uh, yes. Oh, I hear some kind of sound. I hear some kind of sound, but I just don't hear you talking. I'll try something again. I'm sorry. That is great. That's not why we didn't test this out 1.5 years, 1.5 hours before.
Test, test.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Perfect. So, Florian, we can also see you on stream. I am sorry for the delay. Sometimes technique is not working as it is intended, but we all know this is part of everything, especially us also like being part of the gaming industry. So, Florian, thank you for being here. Do you want to introduce yourself? What are you doing in the Dawn of Ages?
Yes. Yeah. So I am the art director on Dawn of Ages. My main goal is to make sure that every asset that gets produced and put into the game sort of is consistent and looks cohesive with the setting of the game. I mainly take care of the 2D side of things, so do concept art for weapons, armors, shields, all this kind of stuff. And of course the doodles for the user interface. That being said, everything that makes it into the game the credits go to the rest of the art team, who are all amazing 3D artists and who need very little guidance for me at the end of the day. They are all basically whatever they do is always perfection, as Tom always says.
Yes, Tom is another person working on the game, right?
Yes, exactly. He's our lead 3D artist.
Nice. Nice. So I guess not too many people who are on the stream are part of the gaming industry. Do you want to tell us just shortly how a normal day for you looks like? Like I know how I'm working. You know, I'm the guy who's on Discord. But what are you doing? Are you like scribbling all day long?
Yeah, I think the first thing is, of course, a couple dozen coffees and to do my daily missions, of course, because I uh, do play every day. It's also a good way for me to keep my head sort of into, the game and remembering like all the things that I don't like that I want to change, and so on. So that's always the first half an hours of my day, and then I guess after I got my updates on Slack and everything, usually it's either researching or just yeah, iPad drawing.
Nice, nice. So you do draw a lot of stuff on iPad.
Yeah, actually, I basically only draw on iPad, with a bit of analog still as well, but I don't Photoshop. I just use for post processing usually.
Oh, nice. Okay, okay. So one question I had: were you always interested in the Middle Ages? You know, that's more of, or did you like slid into this game?
I have to admit, I wasn't always interested in Middle Ages. I think part of it is also because maybe of what we're fed with pop culture and like things not necessarily being always super accurate. Um, but as soon as I got into it a bit more when I was put on the project, I realized that it's actually super fascinating, and there's obviously a lot of really insane designs and creations from the times, and yeah.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, nice. And before we start going to the gist of things, what we want to talk about today, can you tell us a fun fact about yourself? Have you ever anything that
Oh,
you think the players should learn about you?
I don't know. I guess I'm a very avid boomer shooter player. I think that's my favorite category of games,
Ah,
and I highly recommend anyone who has never played these old school games to try them out.
yeah.
That's all.
So one thing I also know, I heard you're a good Dawn of Ages player too.
Yes, I am. My goal is to keep the top players a bit at bay.
Yeah, he's in the top 10 right now, as far as I know. So if you wanna beat him,
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
So what will we do today? So we will, as I said, at the end of the stream, we will raffle away some cool prizes. I heard we'll talk about them pretty soon. And also we will talk about the art of the game, because we also in chat already we have a lot of people saying, "Oh, I love the art of the game." I also personally really like the art. That's why I thought, hey, let's talk about the art and how you create the art. And as Alice is saying, if you have any question, Alice is in the stream chat. Um, we would highly appreciate if you follow our stream or if you invite your friends to watch the stream, because if you like them, we would like to do more of this. Maybe I'll invite a game designer or maybe someone else to talk about their work, because there are so many people working on the Dawn of Ages, and I am just one of the people who likes to talk, right? So,
Right.
Florian, the third thing you've brought me, and one of the things that I like, of course, is the most important thing about any medieval game, are the weapons, right? Can you tell us a bit about how you crafted the weapons and what
Yeah,
can we see
so
here?
I guess on the left side we can see the Carolingians sort of evolving into the Ulfbrecht sword, and on the right side we have the Rondel daggers. I guess just for a bit of an introduction, we have around 45 different types of weapons in the game, different categories, I guess, and each weapon can belong to different epochs. So when I was, let's say, told that we need to make what is effectively ends up being 150 different designs, I had to kind of come up a bit with an approach on how these weapons could evolve throughout the epochs that we have in our game, and I had to come up with a bit of an aesthetic that applies to different weapons who belong to
Mm-hmm.
the same epoch. So the goal here is to try and make it so that the player can recognize weapons just based on how they look, and they don't need to read little UI elements. That was the general goal. Of course, there's challenges that come into play with this, because when it comes to the medieval times, certain weapons, weapons were very much a consequence of the evolution of armors. So certain weapons were not used in certain epochs just because they were not as effective. On the left side here, we have the Carolingian sword, which has a very rounded tip and was mainly used, I guess, most popular maybe in the Viking ages. And after that, because of its rounded tip and the lack of a handguard, it really was not very effective, right? Because you can't really fight against plate armor. And similar, I guess, on the right side, we have the rondels. And This is a bit of the opposite case. So the rondel actually is a weapon that only existed in the late Middle Ages,
Hmm.
and after that, early Renaissance, so on. But we wanted to introduce it gameplay wise already from the Dark Ages. So I kind of had to sort of invent a bit how maybe a Viking Age rondel could have looked like, at least in the context of our universe, even though, of course, it doesn't really exist. It never existed in real life. And that's why I guess we are more historically believable than really accurate, right? Like we base everything on real weapons, real things that existed, but we are not 100% historically accurate, and that's also because we're a game, and as a game, we have certain limitations, right?
Yes, yeah, would be great to not have any limitations, right? Just do what you want. Um,
Exactly.
I already have a question about weapons on chat. Not sure if you can answer that, but it's like why the butter knife rondel is two-handed. Can you answer that?
Okay, that's a very good question. So the Rondel dagger is currently two-handed in the game. The reason is when we did the first sort of set of animation for the game, we did it without thinking and we designed it as a main hand weapon. And eventually, our goal is to turn daggers into offhand weapons potentially. That so it's more of a which would be also more accurate. You know, daggers were mainly used as status symbol uh, or offhand, like for parrying. But yeah, I guess the reason is just that originally when we designed it, we made all the animations like as a as a right-handed weapon, and so now we couldn't really mix it with a shield that wouldn't uh, work anymore because of the way that the animations were done.
Yes. Okay. That's thank you. I think it was a Christian who asked that. So I hope you're happy about that one. Maybe something will change in the future, and we know that
Yeah.
it could change, and maybe would good. And I also you also brought a bit more about like some about different developments, like how the weapons are designed and what you had in mind when you designed the weapons, and that there are difference between the early Middle Ages and the High Middle Ages. Can you explain us a bit about that?
Yeah, so these are the early Middle Ages, in which I guess weapons start being uh, like simple, clean. It's more about utility, right? They
Mm-hmm.
are usually characterized by this red grip, and they're pretty simple. They don't present too many engravings, and the silhouette is pretty bare bones, right?
Yes, and then on the High Middle Ages, even I can see as like I would call myself a weapon noob that it already looks a bit different.
Yeah, so these are the high Middle Ages weapon. Usually, again, yeah, as you said, we start to have a bit more decorative elements, a bit more of a flair to them. We also start to see more unique weapons that only appeared later on, because usually we try to introduce weapons whenever they started being used, unlike with the rondo. And yeah, so characterized, usually we have darker woods, the grips are made a bit differently.
Yes, and then on the late Middle Ages, it's getting more crazy. Not really crazy, but you know what I mean. It's like looking more distinctive.
Exactly, yeah. So here we are starting now to I mean, this is really where we had the most fun in the late Middle Age weapons. Also, they're all still locked, and I guess you can get the drops in the game, but you can really not craft them or anything. Soon they will be available. And yeah, we have more golden elements. There's often trinkets attached to the weapons, engravings, texts, all sorts of little Easter eggs and stuff of this kind.
Nice. I mean, weapons are one of the most important things in the game, and I mean, you sent me a lot of images I could show to the stream, but I was especially like super happy seeing these weapons. Can you tell me a bit more about these weapons that we're seeing on stream right now?
Mhm. Yeah, so on the left side again, we have a bit of an evolution showcase for the main one-handed swords that we have in the game, excluding the falcon. So it's kind of like I was trying to show how the blade and the crossguard and the pummels evolve from a Carolingian, slowly turning into what is the more common arming sword. The one in the middle, which is the Ulfbrecht, is yeah, it's a relatively rare sword, I guess, but we still have it, and it's kind of in this case the in between, right? Because it has a crossguard that is kind of there, not super big, but already starts having some utility when it comes to parrying. In
Yes.
the center, we have our flamberge. This was the first sort of concepts made for it, where I went a bit over the top, also making a little bit of animation just because it was a fairly fancy weapon that we wanted to put in. And then on the right side we have the sawfish sword, which is a sword that we actually ended up seeing in real life here in Berlin at the museum when we went to gather some references and look at armors and weapons in real life and sort of yeah,
Yes,
get some.
as you've heard, they even go to like real museums to look at the weapons. I heard that in museums, weapons look not as cool as they look in the game.
I mean, they look always a bit more funky than you would think. I think the armors, especially if you see them in real life, they don't look as epic. They look really funny because people were kind of, I guess, a lot tinier than they're now, and a lot of the hammers they don't look as badass because they're actually quite small. This also, of course, the sawfish sword was actually a ceremonial sword. This thing would break in a second if you were to actually use it in a real battle. But again, in the context of our game and in favor of badassness, I think it's fair enough to use it.
Yes, I'm not. I don't know if you're seeing the chat, but a lot of people love the weapon. Like that. Oh wow, what a great weapon! What a design! Brutal sword, looking good. So I just want to give that to you. And one person said Berlin. Yes, I mean you can Google Stratosphere Games. The company, our company, is based in Berlin. So
Mhm.
yes. Uh, so we also can speak German, but of course we do it in English here, so everyone can listen to us. Oh yeah, don't Google. Yeah, don't Google. Maybe you see uh, things you don't want to see. No, but one thing you said, hey, you went to the museum, but there are also like other things you take a look at when you make weapons, because of course you try to be as historically accurate as you want to be. There are no dragons in the game, for example. As you know, where do you find these inspirations and how do you design these?
I guess mainly I browse Pinterest most of the time, just because there is so much material there, also from different museums and stuff like that. Once you find the right keywords, it's actually pretty easy to find very, very good weapons, authentic weapons. And of course, a lot of the hard work when it comes to the design has already been done in the past, in a sense. So you kind of have to like, look at what already has been done, what really existed, and then I can sort of give it my twist and make sure that it fits within the context of Dawn of Ages, without necessarily having to come up out of nowhere, right? With things. On the left side here, we have the Horseman pick, uh, which as you can see, has a bit of a mixture of design from both of these references. And then on the right side, we have the the Ulfberg sword again. This case is the late Middle Age version.
Mhm.
And yeah, this is a sword actually, fun fact, only 140 total has been found, I believe. It's a very, very unusual sword, and it's kind of like, I guess, the evolution of the Carolingian, which used very, very unique and advanced materials for the time and had very crazy engravings, as you can see. So this had to make it into the game, of course, because it's one of the most fun ones, at least when it comes to the design.
Mm. So yeah, I mean, I love particularly the hammer because it looks like there's some kind of cute animal on the hammer. It's I don't know. I love both designs, and I think it's amazing how like closely these items look to the real ones. It's not sure how you do that. Yeah.
I
uh,
guess, yeah, I guess, yeah, just having a lot of references.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And one thing I've heard, I mean, some people may know, they've seen me on Discord before. I'm a anime nerd, and I heard you did put in some small anime references into the game.
Yes, of course. Yeah, these are the falchion, the saber, the stiletto knife on the left side. Stiletto knife, actually, I believe. I mean, we still have to put it in the game and fully make it, but this is a bit of a preview, I guess. Um, Also to force game design to accept putting this in the game.
Yes,
Um, but yeah, these are all weapons that have a bit of a berserk reference to them, Easter egg to them. I guess on the left side we have Griffith's helmet with the red piece of cloth
Mhm.
symbolizing the behemoth, and then in the middle also we have Griffith with the behemoth doing the sacrifice, and then on the right side We just have the behemoth on the edges and the symbol of the mark of
Mm.
sacrifice on the dagger. And of course, good old Godot upgrading the Dragon Slayer on the right side, which is our upgrade UI pop-up.
I'm just laughing because with Ulfu in chat being seem to be a big Berserk fan, so like crying, and I can understand you. Maybe, oh, maybe we'll insert even more Easter eggs in the future. I mean, not sure how much of you know, but at some time ago we had a super active player in beta, and unfortunately his dog died in an accident, and we added the image of his dog as a profile picture. So, we always, for us, it's important to honor people who are helpful to us or like who inspired us, like Berserk, for example. So, uh, but I think one of the other things that Dawn of Ages is known about, I really want to talk about, are the doodles, how I call it. Like, for example, you see here some of the doodles you did for the opening book. How do you come up with these things?
Yeah, so I guess these, how do I come up with these? I guess mainly, well, maybe I can give a bit of context first as to where these come from. They originally, in the Middle Ages, monks and people who would write manuscripts, they would have these internal jokes in the margins of textbooks and stuff like that. These were called marginalia, and it was effectively a way for them to, make fun of the world and such things. And
Mm.
I try to borrow the style a bit and put it into the game as our sort of UI aesthetic because we wanted to steer away from the more, I guess, standard medieval game user interface that you see ever so often with the wooden shields and this kind of stuff. And we wanted something that was a bit more funky, but still, is in its own merits accurate
Yeah.
and based in reality.
Yeah. Yes, yes, and that's something we'll also see today. That was the most surprising thing for me. Like when you sent me some images, we talked a bit about it. That this is not something you only came up with. Of course, all the ideas came from you, like how you design these. But in the end, similar things also existed way back when. So it's not that you just looked at the tactic cards, for example, and said, "Oh, yes, I want to draw a cartoon," right?
Yeah, I guess in the case of the tactic cards, oh, I think, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Can you repeat the question? I think I
Oh,
got lost.
all good, all good. We were in the tactic cards, and the tactic cards also have these nice looking doodles. And it's not like you just came up with yourself. You say, "Oh, I want to draw my favorite animals on these," right? It's also you something you found inspirations from.
Exactly, yeah. I think in the case of the tactic cards, especially when it comes to maybe more abstract effects or things that are not as easy to visualize with something simple. It can be tricky, but I think most of the time, if I find a good enough doodle or something that can be used to express the same thing, like increased slash armor, thrust armor, if you find the right animal that sort of looks like what you need, then you can just use that and sort of adapt it.
Yes. Nice. My favorite one in the game is the hard shell one. I just like turtles. I heard your favorite one is on this slide.
Yes, my favorite one is the guillotine. Just because of the drawing, I like the little hands of death, sort of.
Yes, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand. I also like the muddy ground one. It looks like a bit insane. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
wait, here we have the explanation where you got the inspiration from the for the muddy ground one, right? Oh,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
no, it's gone. Uh, yes, and we
Oh,
have a few. Yeah, we have a few more inspirations. For example, this one. Uh,
and the Mardi Gras.
yeah, sorry, that was my laptop.
Sorry, I
Uh,
think it's because I have a delay on the
Uh,
stream. So,
okay, okay. So
like,
yeah, all good, all good. So basically, we have a few explanation images now that show you, hey, how you came up with all these nice looking doodles. And for example, one of the ones I showed the muddy ground one already, but this one I think is even more interesting because if
yeah,
you look at the doodle on the left, a rabbit stabbing someone and having like a duck, a black duck, is it a duck? And a goose, maybe I don't know,
like,
sitting on top of him. And even that kind of bears resemblance to real life things, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think also to be fair, both the goose and the dog were also referenced from real marginalias.
Uh,
The thing on the top right, which I guess writing, is supposed to be some form of ostrich, I think, drawing. I think medieval drawings of animals were always very creative and weird.
yes,
But yeah, I guess in this case, it was easy to sort of recontextualize these artworks into. I think this is the perk for the armor piercing perk.
yes, as far as I
Yeah,
know. Yes, and we also have like a few more. I'll just show them to the stream. So these ones where you have like the hand, the typical UI hands that point to stuff in the game. I never thought that these really existed in real life.
yeah. So this is a thing that also was done again, like in old medieval manuscripts. These were called, I think, manicule, something like that. And they were used by monks to sort of highlight and indicate, point at different, different parts of the text that they wanted to draw attention to. We, took this concept and repurposed it, of course, in the context of our game. And we also ended up using these hands in order to point at all sorts of things we want the player to tap on, but also, as a little character that can be used to display, for example, on the bottom row, it's all the crafting items that the player can make.
Yes, and here I just show the stream real quick. We don't have to talk about everything in detail, else we'll sit here in like 3 hours, right? So, but yeah, even like the a bit weird looking animal, like the bit weird looking animals, have inspirations. I always think it's a lion dog. Not sure what the real animal there is.
Yeah, some form of lion.
Yes. And here the other big thing we want to talk about today. So I've heard you designed a T-shirt just for the Dawn of Ages, and I heard some people can win this today.
Yes.
Unfortunately, one thing I can say already: you can only win shirts if you're based in Europe. You can't win if you're outside of Europe. Unfortunately, for shipping reasons, currently we'll hope to make something doable outside of Europe soon. But yeah, you'll hear soon how you can win these. But can you tell us a bit how you designed this and why the "This is fine" dude is in there?
At some point in the past, I had found a very nice depiction of hell. Again, one of these marginalia where you had this like demon head and a bunch of like people. It was much more macabre than this, much more dark. But yeah, I thought I borrowed the concept, so to speak. I thought this was something that would look very nice on a t-shirt, and then turned them into Barbarossa. The big face, I guess, is supposed to be Barbarossa, and then inside we have all of our little characters that appear throughout the user interface of our game.
Yes, yes.
And oh, sorry, I forgot the little Easter egg guy, which I
Um,
guess in a sense this was made during the release time of the game, so the final crunching period, and this was maybe also a way for us to like sort of, express
sorry.
this is kind of the vibe that was happening. This is
Yes.
how we were feeling.
Yes, I can imagine. I just love that you have all of these people recurring in the game. Like I always am happy personally when I see the rabbit or the skull guy, and I learned before the stream that he's called Death or is the Death kind of right.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And
So
should I show it? I also have it here.
yes, yes. Show the shirt. Stay tuned. I think in about 10 minutes you can win a shirt. It's 10 to 15, depending on how much we talk.
Yeah, looks nice.
Yes. So please stay on here. So a few other things we can talk about. So this is one of the coolest image I've seen that you've sent me. Can you tell me what that is?
Yes, this is, I guess, my first attempt at showcasing how weapons get introduced and unlocked within the game. So we have in the beginning is the Carolingian sword, then we have the Seax, the Ulfbrecht, Falchion, so on, up until the last ones, which are the Zweihanders and so on and so forth. And I guess the idea was to showcase the player progress by also while giving him a hint of all the assets that we put into the game, because it is a lot of different weapons. And I think sometimes because they're not all introduced in the beginning of the game, it's not always so apparent. So this was the first attempt at that. Yeah,
Nice. So, one thing that I found always like super interesting just looking at the game and looking at what you create is how many icons exist in the game. But you can tell me, I mean, there's not even an icon for every item in the game, right? These are just the one that exists right now.
yeah. So the way the icons work actually, yeah. So these icons were all used for the blueprints. So for what you need to then craft the items themselves. But the icons, there's only one icon per item category. So let's say Carolingian sword only has one icon, even though there's five different models for it, one for each epoch.
Mhm.
But there's no point in doing five icons as well. So we just made one. So this is a good overview of, uh, I think most of the assets, not all of them, but most of the assets we have in the game,
Yeah.
at least when it comes to the variety.
And I'm not sure what the chat thinks, but one of the things that I really like about this is like that you, on the one hand, have the cool looking weapons, but you also have the Dawn of Ages style embedded into them, like this one sword saying "Epic Wow" on it, or the bomb, which May is my favorite one, with the little snail coming out and saying "Boom" on it.
Yeah.
So, we got a question, but I'm not sure if we can answer that one or if it's planned to go to the 20th century. At least if there will be a long time in the future, right? We have like so much more we can do before going to the 20th century.
Yeah. I think at some point we would run into the problem that early weapons that there's no point in using them anymore. Like you're not gonna fight with a sword and your falchion in modern times. So I guess I don't know how much that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think we would rather expand sort of vertically, no, sorry, horizontally, so to speak. So like geographically and add more assets in that direction. But there is still, obviously there is the option to add a new epoch and things of the sort if it's something we want.
Yes. And I mean about the Berserk sword, that's the other question. You never know, right?
I look. I've been pushing to put in some variant of the Golden Age sword of guts, the first one, so to speak, the one that maybe looks the least. I mean, it still looks fantasy, of course, but it's the least fantasy. And I would do this in honor of Kentaro Miura. I think it would be an awesome little Easter egg. I
Okay.
just, you know,
Yeah. Okay. And can I then get the swords from Sorrow from One Piece?
from we have to see. We have to see how many we can put in.
Yeah, I know, I know. It's uh, looking at icons. I have a lot more icons that I brought with me just to showcase to the people. I'm not sure if everyone has already seen the research that is in the game, and yeah, every research had a unique icon. Was that difficult to do?
I guess it was kind of stressful in the sense that there wasn't a lot of time to produce these, and more or less had to be done in a week, a bit more. Uh, but yeah, but I mean, overall, I was just handed a list of icons and then just try to slowly chip away at them. Obviously, once you have the idea, this kind of style lends itself pretty convenient because it's not very time consuming. That's, I guess, also one of the fun advantages that we have. It's the style is both like part of the game because it looks good, but also because it's kind of necessary to like not invest too many resources in like producing 100 icons so that it's something you can do relatively fast.
Yeah, yeah. And I heard there are also some icons on here that are not in the game yet. If you can see them and
Yes.
spot them, keep it to yourself. No, of course you can talk to. You can speculate what it's about. Maybe
Yeah,
look.
we're all crafting our bread. There's the
Yes,
little bread icon. We're waiting for that. I'm
yes,
speaking on behalf of everyone.
yes. As a German, especially too, right? Because
Right.
we as Germans love our bread. So we have a few questions on future nations, future people to add, commanders to add. And that's something we always take a look at, right? It's always, we get a lot of feedback from players. We have like, hey, can you add Italians? Can you add Japanese people? We also will talk a bit more about your favorite weapons later on. And there we also got some suggestions. And yes, that's something we always talk about, right? But it's always a lot to ask to add new commanders, right? And also to add new, like, how is it, nations to the game. Just think of adding some Asian nation. You need to add so many different visuals for that, so it will take some time.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think the issue, I mean, also, I'm not sure how much we're allowed to say about this, to be honest. So you can correct me or let me know if I'm
Yeah.
like what the sort of boundaries are. Um, when it comes to Japanese civilization, for example, something that was suggested several times, or just in general, also adding Japanese warfare, so katanas, these kinds of things. I think the main issue that we run into is that the setting starts becoming a bit of this like big melting pot of random stuff that when it started as medieval Europe, once you start having warriors with katanas fighting Zweihander, fully plated guys, it started becoming a bit strange. We do have, however, we plan additional civilizations, of course. We have one for which we already made the commander and the commander weapons and most of the important things. I don't know if I'm allowed to say which one that is,
Oh,
though.
I think we can say that maybe one person who's in the Polish clan may not be too unhappy about that.
Exactly. That's yeah, very well.
Yeah,
Very good.
let's say it like that, right? Polski
Yes.
Legion, you always were super helpful to us. So let's see. Yes, and we're always looking at feedback. I can tell you that a lot of the like parts of the new commander that we've gotten is also we got that from feedback. Like we looked through Discord and said, "Hey, what do you guys want?" And then a lot of people talked about one specific thing, and then we thought, "Okay, maybe let's add that." Um, we have a lot of people writing in chat right now. Thank you for that. We also, like, if we don't answer everything, we'll get everything written down. You see Alice is also in chat, and we'll discuss this after the stream. So everything you put in here and also put into the Discord will be looked at. um the last thing that I brought you before we go to the raffle that everyone is here for, right, is the maps, because these are also one of my favorite things about the game. Like when I started playing Dawn of Ages the first time, still in beta, when I tested it, I was like, oh, these maps look cool. Like, how do you come up with these?
I guess I mean, the workflow, I start analog and I digitalize it and add all of this sort of watercolor this kind of stuff when it comes to the creation itself.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we say, okay, we need to introduce a new map for this epoch. So a layout gets made. We know sort of what nodes need to be on the map and how the path evolves. And yeah, and from there, I guess I can show maybe some of these, which I brought, which
Wow.
are the first analog sketches of the map. And these get then scanned and turned into what you see there on the screen. And maybe I can show a little tease of a map which we don't have in the game yet,
Oh,
which I've done
yes.
recently,
Yes, show it.
which is,
Look.
oops,
Oh,
this one
look at
here.
that. Look at that. That's why it's always good to come to the streams, right? You'll see
Yes.
something that
Uh,
you don't see anywhere else.
Sorry, I'm keeping it too close. I'm having a hard time showing it properly.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's all good. So that's a big question. So we talked about before. We have a snail on all of these things, and I always ask why is there a snail. But Alice has a more important question. What's the name of the snail?
the name of the snail is Echo, and it's our mascot, I guess, in a certain sense. And why is it on the map? I mean, I don't really know. I think it started a bit as a joke, but it almost feels to me like the snail is the protagonist of the game at this point. Like I kind of like to think that. So yeah, I think that's the reason.
Okay, so it's not called Soren. Like it was thought of in chat. I'll be back. Thought would be soon, but no, it's not. Yes. I also can show you the other maps. I mean, I guess most of you have seen them already in game. If not, yay. Should we rename the snail to Soren? I mean, you can make a vote on Discord if you want. And thank you, Tigana. Tigana says you're a really cool designer, and it's cool design that you're doing. Yes, I like. I want to say thank you for everyone being so positive.
Yeah,
I'm a
thanks.
big fan of that. I'm a really big fan of that. So one thing we asked you to do, like besides like showing you about the art, I hope you learned a lot about how the art is done. If you have any further questions, we're still like online for a bit, and you can ask them. If not, you can also always ask in on Discord. Alice and me, we'll have good contact to Florian. I even played some card games with Florian sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, yes. Now you can all speculate what card games that is. But we asked you on Instagram what your favorite weapons are, and we were overwhelmed, I think, of how many people participated. Right, over 400 people participated. It's like crazy. And I went through all the comments and I tried to summarize everything. It's like not super easy because everyone has like different opinions, of course. But from what I've seen, that a lot of people love the crossbows, the warhammers, and axes in general. Like, do you have a favorite weapon, Florian? Like one of the ones that is in game?
I do. I actually think the Warhammer, the late age Warhammer, and more specifically, is one of my favorite weapons. Uh, Again, it's one of those weapons that belongs to the late ages, so at the moment it's not really easy to get unless you get really, really lucky
Mm-hmm.
with the drops. But the actual design of the weapon has a lot of Easter eggs. It basically is the classic hand sort of Warhammer. I don't know if you guys ever saw those. But on the hand itself, there are some markings for like tattoos that me and the other designer who was working back then on the team, marginalia, uh, also had some tattoos on his arm. So it's a fun little internal, I guess, Easter egg.
Yeah. One comment I still remember about the Warhammer was, uh, I love the Warhammer. All hail Robert Baratheon. So some people are like, oh, I don't know, of course, watching a lot of series or movies and like thinking of specific people when thinking of
Yeah,
some weapons.
yeah.
Yes, yes, I like that. So for new weapons, like one thing I've seen a lot is like a flail. I've heard maybe you're working on something already.
Yes. So we actually already produced the 3D model for a medieval flail, although it is not the kind of flail that people think of. A lot of people have in mind this like ball with spikes attached to a chain attached to like a small like stick kind of thing. That kind of like never existed. There was maybe like two of those, and they were both ceremonial. So our flail is maybe a bit more realistic and reminiscent of. So it's a longer stick with at the end a sort of again like a larger piece of wood with some spikes on it.
Yeah,
It's based on a farming tool, I guess,
yeah,
originally. So it was a relatively cheap weapon.
yeah. I have something in chat that I was a bit like distracted by because Ulf was asking if he or they get a tattoo from one of the doodles. Do you get a T-shirt? Then I'd say yes, but you heard someone wants to have one of your doodles as a tattoo. I'm still asking myself which one and where. Is the big question. Like,
I mean, that's an honor and kind of terrifying at the same time, I guess. But yeah, I'm honored.
yes, yes, we can do something, of course. So
But yeah, we can arrange something. I'm
yes,
sure.
yes, and I put a few other comments like you have like Quandao from China or like modern medieval weapons, fire lances from Chinese or some from India, Ethiopia, Indonesia. We talked a bit about that. I mean, that's something that's never out of the questions, and we do think after like some time, Europe is big, but maybe sometime Europe is not big enough anymore. Then
Hmm.
we'll take a look at the other nations because we do believe that it's important to look at everything because the world has so much to offer, right? It's like insane if you look at medieval weapons or if you go on YouTube and look at some of the cool medieval YouTubers, what they like show you, especially the thing that you don't know about.
Hmm.
Yes. But you know what, Mr. Florian, what is way, way more important than anything else is a raffle. I've heard that we will raffle away some stuff here today.
Cool.
Are you excited? Are you excited? Are you a good referee? I'm not even sure if that's the name. So, do you know what we can win? I can. I mean, if you don't, I can just tell you. So we have 5 people from 400 participants will be able to win an epic 2.5 random weapon blueprint. So it could be a really cool weapon. And the epic one is like good. You need, I mean, you're one of the top
Oh,
10 players.
yeah. I mean, an epic is definitely up there. It's right below legendary. I mean, it's no leggy, but
Yeah, I mean, I mean,
we get what we can here.
you're one
we're
of the
scrapping
top
for
10 people. Just imagine you just started playing the game when the game was launched a few days ago, and you get an epic weapon right away. That's like insane,
Yeah.
right?
That's it's a slapper.
Yes, and we prepared this nice looking wheel. Thank you for Alice. Alice prepared this wheel for me, where everyone is on there. You see how many people are on there, and we'll now start raffling away. You hear even a nice sound, like a nice wheel sound.
Very advanced technology. I'm getting hypnotized.
Yeah. The first person is a soul lover of life. A soul lover of life. So how do you get your items? So easiest is if you're on stream right now and message us. If you're not on stream, because 400 people, assume not everyone has time to watch the stream, we'll message you on Instagram and try to get your name, and then you'll receive the weapon afterwards. So, of course, one thing we'll do after someone won, Florian, we'll remove the name, so we don't want one person to win twice, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, of course, are you on there? Did you participate in this?
No, I did not. Although that would have been a good meme.
yes, I can tell you wouldn't have won anyway. Okay, the second winner is Carl Born. Carl Born won. Congratulations. We'll message also you. Maybe if any one of the people who are winning is in here. Oh, I think I forgot to remove it. If Carl Born wins again, it doesn't count. Everyone is only allowed to win once. I think that's fair. And thank you, Alice. Alice has posted the Instagram account. So the third winner, I can't even count. I studied math some time ago, Flo. Not sure if you know, but I can't count to 3. The third winner is Alejandrogel 2013, maybe? I'm not good at pronouncing names. Alejandrogel. Congratulations. We have 2 more. And the next winner is Sirius Hades. Sirius Hades. Congratulations. I'm trying to put all the names down, so we'll message you afterwards. Not sure if we'll message you today. Maybe it will take 1 or 2 days, because sometimes processing these things can take a bit, but we'll try to get your weapons as fast as possible. And the last one, Florian. Okay, who will win the last one? Take a guess.
Billy Bobby 95.
Billy Bobby 95. Okay, I will say our good friends from Polski Legion, Spartacus, will win. Let's see.
What?
Let's see. If that really happens, I'm ringing. I'm just ringing. The next one is Philippides. And a few underscores. Congratulations. Congratulations to all 5 winners. But you know what, Florian? I mean, it's cool to win stuff when you do something. But isn't it better to win stuff if you don't do something? If you're just here? So we think, like, we love doing these streams. And we are just happy that all of you are watching the stream. And that's why we thought at the end of the stream, you'll have a chance to win one of the cool t-shirts. Florian, can you show it once more into the screen?
Of course.
This cool t-shirt that Florian, our art director, designed himself. This is something that only exists for the Dawn of Ages team and a few people from the community who can win this now. So we have 4 people who can win this today. So 4 out of everyone in here. And how do we do that? So there's one thing I always love doing. That's something I've always did already when I was like... I want to say when I was younger and when I streamed privately. And, I need to sign in. Give me a second. Let me look at that because I need to sign into Twitch to do that. So I'm not sure. Have you heard of marbles on stream before, Florian?
I have not, actually. And it might also be because I'm not I follow some streamers, but it's not the type of streamers maybe that would use marbles. So, and I usually don't directly follow on Twitch. I usually watch
Okay.
VODs.
Yeah. I also watch a lot of WOTS privately myself, but I personally, I do really like marbles on stream. And why is it not working again? I need a second. I need to change the password for my Twitch right before the stream, and for some reason the login on Marbles is not working. That's perfect. That's great. I wanted to give us a few seconds. So Florian, while I'm trying to
Yes.
finish this, maybe you can tell us a bit more about the shirt that you can that you can win. Give me like let's say uh,
Okay.
3 minutes or something.
3 minutes of talking about the shirt. Well, maybe I can just answer some questions from chat
Yes.
instead. Like if somebody has some specific questions about the game. I mean, I think about the shirt we said most of the stuff, which some of the main inspiration, the different characters that appear on it as well. We know we have our usual suspects: the rabbit, the hand, the little guy from the I think is a Berserk perk. It's the guy in red with the hat.
Yes.
And of course, we still have our usual generic soldier and some king. Yeah, some of the little characters. Not sure. Blacksmith hammer? Question mark.
Yes. Do some people in chat maybe have some questions? That's a good idea.
Yeah. So someone is asking how long it took to finish the illustration for the shirt. Um, I guess there was quite a few iteration involved in the shirt. It started. The original design was quite different. I redrew the design like 3 times. So it took quite a bit, but not too long. I think it was probably around a week to come up with the final design, maybe a bit more. Um, yeah, it didn't go super smoothly, let's say. Is there a Donovage's wiki or something where the weapon and stats are explained more in detail? I don't think so yet, and I'm also not sure how. Maybe that's something you know, Sören, but how that would work. I think usually wikis for games are set up by the community.
Yes, wikis for the game are mostly set up by the community. You're right.
Yeah, but I don't think there is yet. But it would be awesome to set one up. I mean, um, yeah, next time do the broadcast after 8 p.m. because I'm at work.
Yes.
Uh,
So, so one thing I can tell you is I would love to do that, but we personally we all also are working, and it's sometimes difficult to get people to ask, "Hey, can you stream 3 hours after your work time?"
yeah, also because of time zones and stuff like that, it just gets
Yes.
very complicated very quickly. Um,
Yes, and we are based in Europe. That's why we are currently doing it like this. But maybe we'll do it differently in the future. Maybe we'll have some like another time.
okay, shout outs to our friend Ulfer who is at work, but sneakily watching, not getting clapped.
So I'm not sure why it didn't work before, but now if I go back to the other thing and
Just last question I answer. I'm playing as the Franks.
and I need to test this. I'm not sure why it isn't working, why it wasn't working anymore. But so this is Marvels on stream. I'm sorry for the wait. We set up everything before, but you know, technique is sometimes technique. So basically, what we're doing today is we're playing a marble race together. Thank you, Florian, for taking over.
Of
Uh,
course.
we are going on one of the maps. I'll just use this one. And when the marble race is starting, I know that some people we've streamed before here on this channel, and we streamed because you know Certificate Games also has other games that we do. So we streamed before, and we did play marbles on stream before, and everyone liked it. So what you do is you need to type in chat exclamation mark play, and after you did it, you can now participate. You just need to type in exclamation mark play, and then you should be in. Unfortunately, oh no, we have some people already joining. So one thing I need to say is, I said it before. So what you can win here, you can win T-shirts from the Dawn of Ages. So the shirt that we've talked about, but only people who are living in Europe are able to participate today, unfortunately, because of shipping reasons. So the top 4 people, I mean, you can still participate, but you can't win, unfortunately. It's all good. The top 4 who the top 4 in the end will be able to win a prize. So not too many people are participating. Florian, do you have a Twitch account? If yes, you can also participate. You just can't win.
I do. I even stream sometimes.
Yes, you just are not
Sure,
allowed
let's
to
try
win.
it out just for
Yeah.
the sake of it. If I win, I'll just gift it to the first person.
Yes. That's also something I would do. So, let me also participate. Why not? Why should I not participate?
I mean,
Right?
this is very exciting at this point. I don't even know what's about to happen now.
So basically, you know marbles, right? Have you played marbles when you were a child, way back when?
I don't think so. I'll be honest.
Okay. And what I can say is that basically everyone in chat who types an exclamation mark play gets a marble. You see? Like your name. Stratosphere Games, Alice Stratosphere, Scorpius, Kynex, Ulfur, Christian. And when I click on start, all the marbles go down here. Here. And in the end, there's a goal. Way back there. And in the end, the first 4 people who are not part of Stratosphere Games, but who are living in Europe, will get a prize. And how do you get the prize? So the easiest way to do it is that afterwards, the stream, you'll message us directly on Twitch and send us a DM with your shipping address and everything, and we'll get back to you. If for some reason you're not able to send us a message on Twitch, you can also always message one of the mod team or Alice or me on Discord, and we'll find a way to get it to you. So let's see. We have 18 people playing. You know, that's I'm good at math. No, it's like 1 in 5 chance to win. It's not that bad. So I'd say let's start playing, right?
Cool. Yeah.
Let's start playing. It's 10 more seconds. If you want to participate, maybe it's too late now. And let's go. So basically, as you'll see, all your marbles will try to go down here, and the first marbles who reach the goal will win something. And there are a lot of hurdles you need to go through. And I'm not fast enough. The marbles are way faster than I am. Oh my god! I've never played this map. You know, there are like so many maps, and this map.
You missed them all. We will
Oh
never
my
figure out.
god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh
Wait,
my
I'm
god!
number 1. I'm winning.
Oh, that's you. You're Kanex.
Yes.
Oh, you're winning.
Yes.
Like a few people may like. Sometimes you also may not reach the goal at all because you like die. The marbles can die in this game. So if Johnny leading right now, but Johnny, oh, you know who's leading? I am leading. No, Tigana's leading. Wait, where's Tigana? No, I'm leading. I'm still leading.
Wait, so I didn't win? I'm confused.
Oh no, it's not the goal yet, right? You see?
Oh, okay, we're still
The goal,
going.
yeah, we're still going. Like
I see.
like all the marbles, they always go through these. I don't know how you call it, like these labyrinth thingies, and you need to go through, and maybe you need to get lucky or not.
Right.
If you see Adamant right now, unfortunately died.
Yeah, it feels bad, man. I think I just got schmucked. I think
Yeah, I
my,
think so
my
too.
marble got lost.
I'm still leading. I can tell you, if I'm winning, I'm not getting the shirt. I have it on right now.
Feels bad, man.
This is
Losing.
yeah, only like 10 marbles are left. I can tell you only 10 marbles are left, and I can say 4 people are winning. So if you're not still in the game, you have a good chance of winning. Okay, this is the last obstacle,
Nice.
and after the last obstacle, here's the goal. You see? It's only me. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm rigging the game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's okay that it's rigged, right? I'm s- I'm not counting. So now, if I'm winning, the top 5 will win today. The top 5 will win because I don't count. So congratulations to Scorpius. If you're from Europe, you can message us and you get a nice t-shirt. Also include your size. We may not have all sizes available, but we'll do our best to send you the best size. Also congratulations to Joe, to Cope, to I'll be back, because Alice
Also doesn't count.
and you also don't count. So number 1, D Game Guinea, you said you're not from Europe. So Sant Lima, if you're from Europe, you may also get a prize because we all scammed you, basically. No, because we all
Rip.
yes. So I'll screenshot this one real quick, and please message us if you're in the top 5, in the top 8, I guess now, and message us your size and your shipping address, and we'll send something to you. And if, for example, Sant Lima, if you're saying, hey, by the way, I'm also not from Europe, I don't have stream on right now because I'm playing the game, then then the next person may have the chance of winning. I am not Florian. Oh, not Florian. Oh, you're not. Oh, Kynex, you're not Florian. Oh, wait, you're just typing.
What? I'm confused.
Oh, you're
I
not.
am not Florian. What?
Yeah, Ulfur almost as Sanu got last place. I'm sorry. Maybe we'll find something for you as a pity prize. Thank you, Tigana, for saying that's a cool game, by the way.
No, maybe it's because you counted somebody as me. Kynex, that's not me. I was a Maca Banana 95.
Ah,
I
so.
died.
Oh, Kynax.
That's what he's saying.
Okay, so the winners should be
My bad.
Scorpius, Joe to Cope, I'll be back, and Kynax. Sorry.
Yes, that's correct.
Christian, you're not on the list. Unfortunately, you died. But it was pretty close. You got 10th place. Yeah, we all got confused. Is it my fault, Alice, or is it Florian's fault? Maybe it's.
I
our
blame
both.
everyone except myself.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm also slow. Don't worry. I was one of the more slow people. Oh, I just heard that Joe to Cope may also be someone from our team. So,
Wow.
Sant Lima, if you're from Europe, you also won. If not, Henry07. Maybe. We'll message you. I'll screenshot this one and we'll try to get it sorted out. Thank you for messaging me. It's a nice guy from our team who won. I think he'll get his shirt anyway. So,
Yeah.
Florian, I want to say thank you for being here with me. We wanted to do like only 45 minutes, but now it's like an hour. We can read
Okay.
from the bottom of the list. Yeah, next time. But let's do it next time like this. Florian, do you have anything to say, or does anyone from the chat have anything to say? If not, I would say thank you for being
Yeah,
here.
I would also say thank you. Thanks for playing the game. I hope you guys have fun. And
Yes.
yeah, thanks for joining the stream.
Yeah, thank you for joining the stream. I hope to see all of you soon. If you have any feedback on the stream beside the technical difficulties in the beginning, I'm sorry for that. Please let us know, and maybe we'll get someone else in here. And we'll talk about something totally different. You can always put your questions in Discord. Maybe you have specific questions that only one person can answer, and then we'll see what we can do. And thank you, Scorpio. Thank you, Stratonati. Thank you, Kainak. Thank you, Tigana. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you for being as nice. And next time, don't use marbles, okay? Next time, I find something different. I really like marbles because it's like fun to commentate, but I can see why. I'm also not super fast at marbles most of the time, but
Oh, you did win.
Yeah. Most of
That's
the
a bit of
time.
a humble brag.
Yeah, most of the time. Okay. Thank you, Florian. I'll get you back to work. You need to scribble a bit more, I guess, now.
Yes, I have to.
And I also need to get back to work. So thank you, Alice. Thank you, everyone who watched. If you need anything, if you have any question, you can also always message us on Discord and we'll get it sorted out. And hope you all have a great day.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.